Hey guys, it's Zach with GI Tactical and Airsoft GI here today, and what we're going to talk about is the best of the high-end series. Now, you've seen us talk about best newbie series, so we've talked about a couple different guns there, but we want to kind of take a departure from that and start talking about some of the high-end series. So what we have in front of us are just three of the basic models for the higher-end series, which come from Crytek, Elite Force Avalon series, and the Classic Army Nemesis series. So the basic overview of what all these guns have in common is they all have ambidextrous selectors, they all have wheel-style hop-ups, which all lock in place. Well, the VFC doesn't, but it still is a nice turret style and nice to grab a hold of. They all have quick change springs, and they're all rear wired. So that's where their basic similarities all come in. But to go over more of the specifics, we all know the Crytek series, but they put out their Mark II series, which they made a lot more adjustments with. So again, being with all the same principles that we just spoke about. We all know the stock design, we all know the basic gearbox design. You have 18-to-1 gears on the inside. You have a little bit more comfortable grip. The Defiant series, furniture as they've become known for. The flat trigger, if I haven't already mentioned that. Their MOSFET is great. It controls a lot of the power from the battery to the motor, so you don't have to worry about burning out your contacts, but that's every one of these guns. And of course the quick change springs. Now these do come with M120 springs for the Mark II series as far as we know, because even the CRB comes in shooting about 370 feet per second, where the SBR comes in about 400 to 410, and the LVOA series typically comes in from about 395 for the S to about 405, 410 for the LVOA-C. It's a very comfortable rifle, all the ones that they put out for the new Mark II series. There's certainly a lot better body design. You couldn't really get much better as far as the Crytek goes, but they all start at about 340 and they go up to about 425 for their high-end guns. Great series. Crytek has really blown us away, especially when running 0.30 gram BBs or 0.28s, even on the CRB models, just because you get that nice consistent shot out of that weight the way the hop-up is designed. And of course, we all know the number etching on the hop-up chamber has really improved. If you're running 2.5s, you're like, oh, let me just roll it down to number 8 real quick, or if I'm rolling 2.8s, I'll just put it on number 11. It really helps out with that line. And of course, now there's a lot more aftermarket parts that you can put into the Crytek stuff, and they have an extremely durable gearbox. I mean, we're talking, it's a beefy gearbox. So just the Crytek series, they're one of the number ones in the high-end stuff. So let's go to the Elite Force Avalon over here. The Elite Force Avalon, now these are VFC OEM. So you still have your really standard like VFC gearbox, which is one of the most upgradable gearboxes out there. You can do a lot of custom stuff with it. The version 2 gear set that they have on the inside, it's already a 16-to-1, so you're gonna get a little higher rate of fire, a little bit more snappy torque out of it for faster turnover. Now these do come in shooting about 360 we've seen for most of the models, to about 380 for the longer models, and they come in different colors, just like the Crytek can come in different colors as well. So this has Qrs Furniture, which has gotten a lot of people's attention. The flip-up sights are really neat. They're lightweight sights, and they hold in place just fine. You have the grip here, which has some nice texturing on it, which is really easy to get a hold of. The panel right here to get your finger across the front instead of having to like roll it onto the metal. It's really comfortable. They have the Harry Potter trigger, as I call it, which is well, it looks like a lightning bolt, so it's a Harry Potter trigger, and it's textured on the front too, so you have a nice positive grip when you're going into the trigger right there. And of course you have the QRS stock, which really is easy to adjust with the pull switch on the back here. Slide it in and out from positions 1 to 6, and it's really easy to get into the battery compartment in the rear. You just pop those tabs. You can slide a battery down the buffer tube if you want, or you can pop these little pieces off here to get your nickel metal hydride batteries or your NiCad batteries, or even fit more smaller lithium polymer batteries just on the inside. So really impressive stuff from the new Elite Force Avalon series. Now these start about $350 and they stay under $400 the entire time. And, they come in this really nice, like kind of shiny, sparkly bronze color, but it doesn't really give away too much. Just a really impressive gun. They're very lightweight for what they are. If you're familiar with VFC, you know that they make great externals, but now they've beefed up their internals, of course, with their MOSFET and their new piston and tappet plate and a couple other little features as well, including their quick change spring. So then we finally go over to the Classic Army Nemesis series. Now this is the ME10 from them. So you see we still have a bolt locking feature, which is really nice actually. It's got a nice loud sound to it. You do have to hit the bolt release on the other side on the bottom to be able to lock it in place. Again, ambidextrous selector switch. We have the golf ball style textured grip here on the bottom, which is really interesting. We really like this grip. It's very comfortable. It's a little thinner on the front and back, so you can actually get your hand around it really nice. The rail systems are really smooth. Now these are CNC cut rails, and they do come with the rail attachments for them, whether it be a key mod rail or it's like this Delta style rail that they have on here. A really interesting feature that we really like about it is this grip on the bottom. to get to your motor in case you want to swap it out for something else. They've made it really simple. Instead of removing a bunch of screws, it's just a quick tab that you pop and you can get nice access to your motor. Pops right back down and closes in place with ease. They also did a nice little thing so that, I mean, a lot of people really like the PDW stocks. So inside here, this grip or this stock can close down pretty far. So I mean, that's only about 6 inches of stock that you have right there, and you can of course roll it all the way out to there. You still have nice grip behind it. It still rolls into your shoulder nice and well, and it's pretty incredible what they have here on the inside. That's how you get to your battery compartment. It's got a little Dean's connector right there, so you just wire a battery to Dean's or XT connector, slide it in. We've been able to fit the 11.1 volt lithium polymer batteries that we have here, 1000 milliamp hours, what seems to fit the best. We just slide it right in, hook it in, and then of course put the cap back on it and screw it back right in place. It's been a pretty impressive model, but the one thing that sets this one apart is this has a controllable ECU on the inside. So everything else is typical blade contacts on the inside, where this one, if you can hear, if we can get it close to the camera, nice little click is going on in there. That's the ECU on the inside. Now this is programmable. So that's one thing that sets this apart from the other series, even though, you know, this has great coloring and has really, you know, fine-tunable, adjustable gearbox, you know, really easy to get inside of. This, the electronic control unit, means that you can shoot semi and full automatic, or you can shoot semi and 3-round bursts, or semi and 3 or 5-round bursts possibly. I don't remember all the exact controls, but this is adjustable so that you can set it to semi and semi even, you know, which makes it really nice. Now the other feature, again, with this metal hop-up chamber versus the polymer hop-up chambers that this has, this does lock in place, but this is a really, really nice metal that they have for the hop-up chamber, which means you're going to get really nice air seal. They have their new bucking, which has gotten incredible range out of it. Again, you know, all these guns work great on 2.8s and 3.0s. We've seen really impressive range, like Crytek especially. A lot of people, even the guys that we've seen out here in Virginia Beach, the ones that, you know, do a lot of the testing and assembling for this stuff down at Valahak, they say, yeah, 0.30 gram BBs are some of the best to run out of the Crytek guns. But we've seen the same out of the Nemesis series, because this actually comes with a Type bore barrel on the inside. So you have the Type bore barrel in tune with the metal hop-up chamber and their new bucking, and you're just getting incredible shots. Like we were seeing like body shots at 180 feet out of these guys. So pretty impressive stuff from the Classic Army Nemesis line. Very comfortable gun, very PDW style, and they of course go all the way up to 14.5 inches and so on. They can go all the way down to about 8 inches. VFC, the Avalon series by Elite Force, you know, they go from about 8 inches up to 14.5 as well. And then of course you have the PDW series, even from, you know, the Crytek series, which is a nice compact gun, PDW style, like the PDW stock on here, you know, all the way up to the LVOA, the longer version. So again, just to go over price points, you know, the smallest of the small starts about $350, and they go up to about $425 for Crytek. For the Avalon series, they start about $350 and they stay under $400. And then for the Nemesis line, it's about $375 to about $410. So you're getting really impressive high-end guns. So these are all guns that you can be very confident with. Just go right out on the field, pop in your mag, high cap, mid cap. These are all going to fit all the different styles of mags that you're going to want to fit, be it K120s or the Dytac hex mags, or your high cap series, whether it be a G&G high cap or mid cap, or the amp high caps that we have. You know, all those different lines are going to fit all these guns perfectly and feed wonderfully, and you're going to get great range, great shots. You're going to get great follow-up and trigger response out of all these single guns here, and they just feel really, really nice. So we're also going to get a blog post out with some more in-depth detail on each single one, so be sure to follow that too. And if you're just starting out in Airsoft and you want to, you know, pick up one of these, or if you want to check out any one of the other guns, be sure to check out our Best Newbie series as well. So we'll see you around.